Do you feel like you are constantly second guessing yourself about what to charge for your boudoir session fees? You hear all these photography gurus telling you how if you want to have a super luxurious experience, you have to charge this amount. Or this session fee is what converts, so you have to charge this amount. What is that number that's just right? It's giving Goldilocks vibes, isn't it? But what if I told you that session fees could be a whole lot simpler than we've been making it out to be? Today, I'll share a breakdown of exactly how much to charge for your boudoir session fee. And be sure to stay to the end because I'm going to give you the exact formula so you know what to charge for your boudoir session fee based on your own specific business. Seriously, I have formulas for everything. All right, let's dive in. Hey, I'm Tracy. I help boudoir photographers stay forever booked out. Be sure to grab my free guidebook that lays out my 5 best tips for booking clients without Facebook ads. Now, before we dive in, I do want to say that this episode is going to be geared more towards the IPS model or in-person sales photography business model. And this model is where the client pays a session fee that goes towards the time and the hair and makeup, and then you photograph the session. Then after that, you come back, the client will come back either for a Zoom ordering session or an in-person ordering session in your studio. And at that point, that's where they'll purchase wall portraits, albums, products, even digital files, but it's an in-person model. And that's the best way to have a profitable photography business. But that being said, if you're shoot and burn where you photograph the session then give all the digitals, I still think that this episode is going to be beneficial for you. The first 3 of the strategies that I will share is my actual favorite strategy and the one that I use in my own boudoir photography business. And I call it my happy place session fee, and that is simply because I think it is the perfect happy place. And it's more of a mid-range session fee. These mid-range session fees or my happy place session fees are in the $200 to $500 range. My personal session fee is $299, and truly I think this is the reason my schedule stays as full as it is because it's in the perfect happy place to draw in the kind of clients that I want. These are not the clients who expect everything for cheap, but they're not those super bougie clients either. This price range seems to draw in the kind of people I like to be around, the ones that I can talk to all day about anything. And I truly enjoy being around these type of clients. And I think that specific detail is very important. You need to draw in an ideal client that you actually like to be around. So I want you to think to yourself, who do you like spending time with? Do you want to photograph those bougie clients? Or would you prefer these everyday women? Who would you enjoy photographing the most? I truly think that little detail is something that most photographers overlook because they are always just wanting those bougie high-end clients that all the photography gurus are always talking about, those luxurious clients. And believe me, I have photographed every type of client, and the one that I love the most is that mid-range everyday client. They're just the most fun to me. And have you noticed that every single thing in business is always going to come back to your ideal client? The second strategy to what you should charge for a photography session is what I have dubbed the bouge. And this is that higher session fee to bring in the luxurious clients. We will call this anything over the $500 range. And what you want to do with this strategy is you want to attract the clients who are already ready and willing to spend that high dollar amount, who are ready to spend a lot of money on their session. That's what we all want, right? Now, I have seen photographers who are very successful with this strategy, but I've also seen photographers who aren't. What I've found is this higher price session fee is actually more of a barrier to entry, which is a good thing if you want to limit your sessions and limit your schedule, but it's a barrier to entry to prevent some of your clients from actually taking that next step and booking a session. The ones who do jump in at this price are very, very qualified though, and that's what makes them excellent clients. One more thing I want to say is the clients who are that bougie client, they're typically the easiest to please, so that is one reason I do love them. But before you commit to this price point, to this strategy, I want you to think about how many clients you need, how much money you need to make, and then be very strategic with your price list and with pricing your actual session fee. I truly believe that should be considered when you're setting your prices for your session fees. By the way, if you want more information on filling your schedule with dreamy clients, be sure to check out my free guide, which is called 5 Targets to Spot Check in Your Boudoir Business. It will help you hit your first 6 figures in the next 12 months, but most importantly, in the easiest way possible. The third strategy to what you should charge for your boudoir photography session fees is what I call the minimum, and this is just a lower session fee to attract more clients. Now, I personally believe this is anything below the $100 mark. Some might disagree and say it's anything below the $200 mark. But a common belief is that a cheap session is going to attract more clients, and they can with the right marketing strategy. More on that in just a few minutes. But one thing I want to say is if you are charging less than $200 for your session fee, you have to be doing in-person sales. There's just no way around it. That's the only way to be profitable, and if not, you're going to be working so many hours to just bring home the minimum wage. Did you know that the average photographer spends at least 8 hours from initial contact to delivery of the final product, album, digital files, whatever? That's regardless if they're shoot and burn or IPS. And to be honest, a few of you have told me you're spending a lot more time than that. And this is strictly client time. This does not include any other business tasks like business, marketing, accounting, nothing like that. And typically a third of a photographer's time is spent on those marketing and admin tasks. So let's just say, to make things easier, you're spending 10.5 hours on your business per client. That's with the admin time and marketing time built in to that client time. So 10.5 hours. If you're charging $100 a session, that means you're making $9.50 per hour. That's before tax. The federal minimum wage is $7.25. Let's be honest, that's not a livable wage right now. And to top it off, you own your own business and you're making $9.50 an hour. The math does not add up with the amount of stress that you're going to be under. Now let's back up a little bit. With the right marketing strategy, I don't think that this lower session fee only brings in those cheaper clients. But in order to make sure that the clients that you attract with this cheaper session fee are great clients, you have to do a lot of upfront education for your clients. And what I mean by that is just making sure that your clients understand the importance of albums, the importance of wall portraits, and exactly how your entire session is gonna go from start to finish. Like the initial contact, how the session runs, the fact that they're gonna have an ordering session. If you do your homework, if you make sure that they understand everything that goes into this process, you'll be totally fine and you'll still be able to hit your sales average. Now, I do want to give you a word of caution. I mentioned earlier that the bougie clients typically are the easiest to please. These cheaper clients, these lower price session fees, the minimum, those are the hardest clients to typically please, and especially if you have not educated them well enough. If you want to hear more information about this topic, make sure that you go listen to episode 44 of my podcast, Sustainable Freedom with Boudoir Photography. In that episode, I really dive deep into the differences between shoot and burn and IPS and help you make a decision on what's actually best for you. Now, let's talk about my formula for actually figuring out how to price your session fee, how to make the decision on what to charge based on your business specifically. I want to make sure you are not losing money. So here's the formula: studio rent plus utilities plus hair and makeup, if you include it, and that's going to give you your session fee. So first things first, we need to know how many sessions your schedule can handle. That's another video for another day, so let's just say 50. And let's say that your monthly studio rent is $750. And let's say your utilities run about $50 a month. So 50 clients divided by 12 equals 4 clients per month. That's how many clients your schedule can handle. Your rent at $750 divided by 4 clients a month, that's going to give you $187 per client. Your utilities at $50 divided by 4, that's $12 each client. We'll add that up. That's $187 for rent, $12 for utilities, and let's just say hair and makeup is $100. That's going to give you $299. Now we know what you have to charge. Let's take into consideration who your ideal client actually is. Should you raise the price to attract her, keep it that mid-range, or is it good where it is? If it's on the lower end, is your price list built to actually help you hit your sales average so that you can make up for what you might be losing in the session fee? All of these things matter, so make sure to take that into consideration when you're deciding what to charge for your photography session fee. And now you know exactly what to charge for your photography session fees. Be sure to subscribe to get notified for my next video, which is on a secret to pricing as a boudoir photographer. That topic goes right with this episode, so it'll be perfect for next week. While you wait for that, be sure to check out this video. And if this was helpful, be sure to let me know and give it a like. Say bye. We'll see you next time.